I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And I'm Alex.
And this is Alter Ego at the Movies. We're here to talk about Doctor Strange. The three of us went to see the new Marvel movie last night, and we're here to let you know what we thought of it. So the beginning of this will be a spoiler-free review, and then we will pause dramatically, and then we will get into the nuts and bolts of the movie. So, what did you guys think?
Loved it.
I liked it.
Go see it. And that's our spoiler-free review. Thanks for watching. No, it was fun. If I had to compare this to any other Marvel movie, I'd probably say Ant-Man. Not necessarily because of the dynamics or the elements, just because it stands on its own without involving. I mean, every other Marvel movie right now has a team dynamic, and there are characters from the other movies that show up. But there were definitely laugh-out-loud moments in here, more so than I thought there would be. Doctor Strange is very much written as he is now written in the comics by Jason Aaron, so he's got a great sense of humor. Again, more than I thought. I thought he would be more of a dick than he is.
And he was. Oh, don't
and
get us wrong. He's totally a dick.
But yeah, I had a lot of humor. What other elements did you guys like?
Actually, to tack onto the humor, Cumberbatch's delivery, like just the deadpan delivery of those lines is amazing.
I don't know. Instead of Ant-Man, it reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was very much like it's out there, and it's very different stuff that they normally do in the Marvel movies. Instead of doing more realism based, it's very out there, and which I mean has to do with being strange and magic and mystics. But
you don't think other dimensions are real?
I don't think other people think other dimensions are real.
It's very trippy. It's certain
it's super
points.
trippy.
But then it's also very grounded at the same time. So the beginning of the movie, I thought they did a nice job of setting up who the character of Stephen Strange was, and the
Doctor.
No, he was Doctor Stephen Strange. Did a nice job of setting that up and showing us how he gets to where he goes. Visually, I think it's probably the best Marvel movie. I normally don't want to see things in 3D, but I kind of sort of want to see this in 3D and see if it makes me vomit. Because as you can see from the trailers, there's a very Matrix-y, Inception look to this, and I'm curious to see how it would look in 3D. So if anyone does see it in 3D, please let us know in the comments below whether it was worth it or not.
Yeah, there was a part for like 5 minutes I was smiling while watching. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this in 3D. It was just amazing. And
not even just the special effects, the way, well, I mean, it's still a special effect, I suppose, but the fight choreography, the way they used the movements in dimensions and the way it affected the way the fights went was super great. To see the difference between someone who's being at the mercy of these changes versus the people who were actually in control of them and how they could manipulate the stuff around them was amazing. I honestly feel like if we're going to compare it to another Marvel movie, I think it's Iron Man. I mean, it's an arrogant, unlikable character who has something horrible happen to him and has to move forward and become a better person and become a hero. That's just Marvel. Well, Captain America wasn't arrogant.
No, he was never arrogant.
Thor was arrogant, and that's what got him in trouble.
Yeah. I think it fits nicely within the Marvel Universe, and curious to see what role Strange plays moving forward. What about the supporting cast? We have...
Everyone in this movie is awesome.
Yes.
Chiwetel Ejiofor as Baron Mordo.
That one, yes.
Mordo. Benedict Wong as Wong was actually really, really fun. They did a great job of differentiating him from the comic Wong, but still having enough identifiable characteristics. And Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One was awesome. I mean, there's almost no character in this movie that wasn't well acted.
And everybody had decent screen time. I mean, even Rachel McAdams, who plays a kind of sort of love interest, while it is the love interest for Doctor Strange, has a decent amount of screen time. I thought she would kind of just be there for a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it was very, very good for me.
Yeah,
it was good for everybody. It was good for all of us. We all enjoyed it. So you should totally go see it, and remember to stay through all of the credits. There are 2 bonus scenes. There's one midway through the credits, not even midway. It's 25% of the way through the credits, right after they do the
animated credits
Yeah.
before they go to the black.
and then there's one all the way at the end. So does that pretty much cover the
Spoiler-free aspect.
Yes.
whatever this is?
Is there anybody who shouldn't watch it? Is there anybody if you've liked every other previous Marvel movie, is there anyone you can imagine who wouldn't like this movie?
The lady who was sitting next to me should not have watched it because she was sleeping through about a half of the movie, snoring. Actually, I was very angry.
I'm glad I was at the other end of the row.
Yes, yes, and and then when she was awake, and this was an older couple. They weren't like super old; they were probably in their 60s, and whenever something would happen on screen, they would repeat whatever happened on screen.
I've been by that couple.
I know those guys. Yeah.
I was kind of wondering why they were there. I mean, on not even opening night, like the night before opening night. So thanks for saving me those seats at the end next to the old couple that would sleep, snore, and then talk through the movie.
If you get there earlier, then you can choose.
So yeah, you older folks don't go see it, but no, you should go see it. Because what did we say yesterday? In 1963 for Doctor Strange. People that were reading it then, you're old now, and actually you're not that old. You're 10 years. Well, it depends on how old you were when you started reading. And the Steve Ditko, Stan Lee stuff was pretty trippy.
Yeah.
You know, it was psychedelic, man.
Super psychedelic.
Yeah, I think it's for everybody. I don't think it's for my 7-year-old. I was debating about whether I was going to bring my entire family to opening night.
Do you think it's too scary, or you just don't think he'll follow the plot because it's a little more dramatic?
You know what? I think it'll be okay on home video for him, but the opening scene is a little disturbing.
Yeah.
I just think it's a little above his head.
That's fair.
Yeah. Now I took my 15-year-old. He really liked it. He wants to go back and see it again. My 16-year-old wanted to go to the 10:30 showing, and I put the kibosh on that because he stayed up to watch the World Series the night before. So.
I believe that was the plot of an episode of Boy Meets World.
Yes. So yeah, I think it's for everybody. I wouldn't take really young kids, but I'm conservative when it comes to that. I'm sure many young kids will go see that.
We saw several young kids see Deadpool, so I imagine.
But yes,
that's the spoiler-free version. We're going to take a couple minutes and do a deep dive into this. So Amanda is standing in the doorway listening to our spoiler-free review because she didn't go with us.
She's a quitter.
Go, keep walking. You're going to hear spoilers.
I'm very loud.
You need to go into the soundproof room that Ray Fiennes was in Quiz Show. Go.
Wait, is this rigged? Is that?
Yes. Okay, now we will go into the deep dive. So if you're still watching and you don't want to hear spoilers, go away. Turn it off.
We'll come back later.
Come back after you see the movie. Okay, what do we want to share spoiler-filled?
Two Easter eggs. There aren't even Easter eggs at this point, but we do get the mention of a new Infinity Stone, or another Infinity Stone.
That's 5?
That's 5, so by my count, the Soul Gem is the only one that's unaccounted for.
I thought that was
Isn't that what Vision
Oh,
is?
no, not Soul. Yeah. No, Vision has it is a Soul Gem. What's unaccounted for, then? Doesn't matter.
Mind? No.
No, the Mind Gem is what Vision has.
Okay. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, Vision has the Mind Gem, the Soul Gem. Because that's while Black Widow's powers came from, and Black Widow could mess with people's minds, it's all the Mind Gem.
Black Widow.
Black Scarlet Witch. Color Lady.
Colored Lady. Please
Have you seen Marvel movies?
Nope. Just make it up as I go along.
Dormammu was...
Dormammu.
Yes. Dormammu is the big bad.
And the most important scene in the entire movie, what did we see?
The Avengers logo on Avengers Tower.
Okay.
I didn't see that.
The Staff of One.
Yes, the Staff of One.
Classically wielded by Nico Minaru of the Runaways, currently of A-Force.
Actually, they mention it as... Whose was it originally? It was the...
They actually mention it? I missed that.
Oh, wasn't it... What was Mordu...
No, it was a different weapon. Okay. No, when they do the scene where all of the people get together to defend the place, there's a woman in the middle wielding the staff, and it goes across the screen. You can see it looks exactly like the staff from the comics.
I totally missed it.
Yeah.
What did they mention? Oh, yeah, when Strange is driving... you know what? I don't know if we should talk about this stuff or not. Do we want to reveal all the Easter eggs? Or
no, we don't have to.
Well, I mean, it's spoilers. So...
Strange is driving in the beginning, how he gets into his accident. He's talking to his assistant and looking at cases where he can make a name for himself, and one of them is Rhodey.
They don't mention by name.
No, they don't mention him, but it's the very first one, and they
clearly
describe his injury, and it's clearly Rhodey. What else do they talk about? The Stan Lee cameo was good.
Stanley. What book was
He was reading something about perception. It was some.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was very involved, and I couldn't read it. It wasn't like.
If you can read it, let us know because I'm curious.
I'm sure the internet will.
I thought the Cape of Levitation was awesome.
It was. Very
I thought it was going to be too corny and stupid and kiddie, but it was good.
It was just the right amount.
It was like a puppy. It was fun.
The bonus scene with Thor is all kinds of
What's
awesome.
the never-ending beer?
Yes,
that was fun.
We need Doctor Strange around to give us never-ending beer.
Strange bar.
I feel like Chiwetel Ejiofor, at least in the movies I care about, which are all awesome and I love him in, he plays kind of the same character. Like the operative, the guy in red belt, and Baron Mordo are all very similar.
Person.
They're martial arts experts with a very strict moral code. That
I was kind of distracted by his character to some degree because you know he's going to turn at some point.
Well, we know.
Well, as a comic fan, you know that he's going to turn, and that was kind of disappointing because you like him as a kid.
Right,
I guess they're doing
likable.
it. I guess the filmmakers and the writers are doing a good job because you like him and you don't want him to become a bad guy, and you know that it's going to come down to Strange versus Mordo at some point.
Yeah. I liked that they didn't pronounce him Sorcerer Supreme in this movie.
Yes.
Right.
I thought that was a big risk from a long-term standpoint.
I like
He was just Sorcerer Belgrande.
The Eye of Agamotto was very temporary. Like, all right, now.
Yeah, I was surprised that he gave it back. Actually, I thought he was going to hold on to the Eye of Agamotto.
Well, he didn't really give it back as much as he just placed it back where he found it.
Yeah.
He was like,
And no.
But
I liked this what they did with the Ancient One, which really tied into the current Doctor Strange series by Jason Aaron about the cost of magic, about how far you're willing to go to be able to protect reality and protect the planet.
it was just very pretty. The whole thing.
It's
so pretty.
So pretty.
Like, normally, like, this day, like, graphics, okay, everybody can do good CGI, it doesn't matter. But this is just...
I saw Suicide Squad. Not everybody can do good CGI.
Everyone should be able to, with the budget that they have, they should be able to do some good stuff. And this one, they just really knocked it out of the park.
Marvel is just firing on all cylinders. There has not been anything that's below very good. And,
Their worst movie is okay.
Iron Man 2?
Yeah. I hate Iron Man 2.
yeah, I really don't like Iron Man 2. They were still getting their
Yeah.
sea legs in that one. I think that was the last movie that Paramount did. I could
possible.
be wrong.
Possibly.
Did you notice we get a new Marvel logo?
Yeah.
And it's not just a
Right.
Marvel logo.
It's
It's
Marvel
Studios. Which I was kind of disappointed in.
Why? Oh, just the logo?
Well, because they've now separated that from the comics. The Marvel logo for all the other movies had the comic panels.
Yes.
And now it's the images of the movies.
Well,
And I think
get
that's-
it, but...
I mean, that's by design, not to separate themselves from the comics, but the Marvel with comics logo is also on X-Men movies and
Fox.
anything.
Yeah.
Fox movies.
Yeah.
This is one, Marvel Studios is the only one that's going to have these.
Right, it's actually-
and for the normal people that don't necessarily pay attention to what studio has which characters and who's going to be able to interact, it's a subtle
It'll
reminder
show-
that
it'll
it's
show
a
you-
different universe.
Right.
Yeah.
These
No,
actors, these people, these
Right.
characters. I'm excited to see the future. See them just change
You can
it
see
as
the
they go.
future?
I imagine
Yes,
the
the Eye of
future.
Agamotto.
Right. I mean, it's what I do. But I imagine they'll change it in the beginning. Like, oh, now we'll throw Doctor Strange in this. Then when they do Spider-Man Homecoming, they'll throw Spider-Man in there also.
Yeah.
Just because, why not? If they have them, might as well throw them in there.
I think I said in the theater right after we watched it, I think this is the most Marvel ending to any of the Marvel movies. The way Doctor Strange solves the problems is very Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange cannot go head-to-head with Dormammu. Nobody can go head-to-head with Dormammu. So he has to use his brain and be tricksome, and that is all over Doctor Strange and Marvel stories.
I just really wish they would have referenced Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
I really admired the acting in this one because the actors are not actually creating the constructs that they're doing.
Right, they're just
and
look at this tennis ball or
there are several scenes where you just have to admire the acting that they're doing, where you know that they're not seeing anything. It's somehow someone is coaching them. Okay, now you have to do this, and then you have to do this,
Well,
and
it's
make
just
a
fight choreography
half
is all it
circle
is.
and other stuff, and then you hold your fingers like this, and I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought that.
Whenever I saw Strange's hands, I was like, oh, that hurts. Those
Yeah.
like, yeah.
yeah, his hands were super messed up.
Which they should be. I mean,
No, yeah, that's the plot. I really liked that after probably, really, even before the car wreck, I was no longer annoyed by Benedict Cumberbatch's American accent. All
Yeah.
of the trailers
Yeah.
and the very start of the movie, it just sounds weird.
Right.
But once you get into it, it was fine.
It made me think about getting a Surface Pro tablet.
Just so you can slam and throw it across the
yeah,
table.
I was already thinking about it. Did you see the Surface Studio thing?
It
that
looks
they
so
premiered?
cool.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
No. It's $2,400.
Yeah.
You're an Apple guy. You've tried changing several times, and you always go back to it.
We'll see. And that's our Doctor Strange review.
And Apple.
With the Microsoft product placement in the movie. And he has a great drawer of watches.
Right.
That was really
I
impressive.
don't know a lot about watches.
spinning
And with the
watches.
spinning things, yeah.
Well, no, that was to keep them wound. In the
Oh,
drawer.
yeah.
They're classic
Okay.
watches. They're not battery operated.
There you go.
At least that was my assumption. I don't actually have a
I don't-
drawer of watches.
I don't care. It still looked cool.
Speaking of cool stuff, I need to replace all my bookshelves with those awesome bookshelves they
Oh,
have
yeah,
in the
yeah.
Library of Magic Books.
Yeah.
Visually, yeah. Visually, this movie's
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm
It's
just excited for 3D because again, the magic and.
I'm excited for more Marvel movies. Just please. This is so phenomenal.
Next up is Star Wars.
Not a Marvel movie, but
It's
Star
still
Wars.
Disney.
Next up is Guardians of the Galaxy, which is
Well,
Star Wars with Marvel.
No,
Well, there's
Logan. Logan's in
which is-
March.
Well, it's not really.
I know. I
Marvel.
want to see Logan, but
I do.
It's
That trailer's awesome.
that barely looks like a Wolverine movie.
Whoever
let
cut
alone a
that
Marvel
trailer
movie.
deserves an Academy Award because it's awesome. Whoever said let's put that Johnny Cash song to it,
No, as long as the movie itself doesn't suck.
I know,
Yes.
I know.
We've
The
been-
odds are
we-
slim,
We've been hurt before.
and the odds are stacked.
Because
against
if I
us.
remember correctly, the trailer for the Wolverine was pretty solid too.
And it's the same
Probably.
director. Anyway, we gotta open a store. We always record these before we open, but thank you for sitting through this lengthy
Digression.
lengthy breakdown of Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange. Go see it. Definitely go give some money to Marvel Studios because they need it. Support awesomeness in film. And we were going to mention if you're curious to read about Doctor Strange, there's some great graphic novels and comics that you can check out. There's a Doctor Strange Prelude trade paperback that's available, which has...
It's got the Doctor Strange Prelude story, which focuses primarily on the Sorcerer Supreme, because it takes place before the start of the movie, so Strange is off being a doctor. And it actually goes up to literally right before the movie starts. The opening credits are right after what we see in the book. It also contains the first issue of Doctor Strange the Oath, written by saga scribe Brian K. Vaughan, and it is also that you may remember the Oath as the book that Cumberbatch was shown on Facebook and social media holding up as like the one he read to learn about Doctor Strange. It's got the first issue of Jason Aaron's Doctor Strange, which is the current Strange run, and in my feeling, and I think Mark agrees, is the closest to the tone of the movie. And then it's also got the first appearance of Doctor Strange from the 60s, the origin stuff. So it's a great kind of sampler of Doctor Strange goodness.
Yeah, that's probably the direction that will point most people is to pick up that, to get a sampling of all of that. Otherwise, you could jump into the Jason Aaron series, which is very timely, so like the Matt Fraction Iron Man series was. Or just pick up the Oath. So
Yeah, Oath is great.
all kinds of Doctor Strange goodness.
Doctor.
1963. Lots of Doctor Strange to check out. Anyway, come into the shop if you're local. We'll point you in the right direction. Thanks for watching. If you liked this Alter Ego at the Movies, give us a thumbs up on YouTube and make sure to subscribe so you're kept in the loop when we put new videos up. Everybody have an awesome Doctor Strange weekend.